Grab you a cup of coffee, or in my case for today, water. Hello, summer. And today we are going to be talking about what my rising 10th grader will be doing for homeschool 10th grade. Hey everyone, I am so excited to share with you today's video to talk about what my 10th grader is going to be doing. Now I know last time we talked about homeschooling, I was talking about how one of my students is taking one semester of 9th grade for the fall, and then when she turns over into her spring semester, she will officially be a 10th grader. And officially on paperwork, she is a 10th grader. I also felt the need to show you all what a full year of 10th grade homeschool looks like for us. Now, when I say that I have two AP students, I never, ever mean that my two non-AP students are not smart. And sometimes I feel like people get that perspective, and that is totally not what I mean. I just mean that I love the challenge of having like two AP students and two visual learners. You can be visual and AP, and you can be a standard student and not be a visual learner. That's just how it worked out for our house. So my 10th grader is a visual learner, and there's some subjects I probably could push for honors, but for honors high school, there's so much more paperwork to have to do that I just didn't see it necessary. And for the fields of education that she's wanting to look into post high school, she doesn't really need that much extensive honors classes. So let's talk about what like just 10th grade looks like for her. And again, even though she's not doing like the super honors classes or anything like that, I did go ahead and schedule her for classes that she wanted to do that was towards her field of study. She's probably going to go towards something that is science-based. So last year, if you saw the 9th grade review that we did for the 2023-2024 school year, she took two half-credit elective science classes, and she really enjoyed that. So this year, we're going to be kickstarting with biology. Now, many of you have left some amazing reviews on Biology 101 when we were talking about biology. And there is a book coming out soon, and I don't know by the time this video goes up if the book will be out, but once I know for sure the book is out, I will share it with you guys. But we were given credit in the book for sharing our Biology 101 review and talking about this visual learning aspect of Biology 101 that can be honors. And honestly, if this 10th grader puts in the effort to do the biology and she wants to do the above and beyond, I'll probably roll her over into the honors class whenever I go to put the fall grades in. But I also, like I said, didn't want to put that pressure on her. She is my child that honestly, the reason why I don't put her in honors classes is she goes above and beyond. Like once she finishes her school day, there's still stuff that she does that I would consider schoolwork. Yesterday, like this summer, she's taking guitar. And yesterday, once she finished guitar, she disassembled a broken robotic spider that she had built. And one of the parts had gone bad on it, but she had the parts to build a whole second spider. And she took one of the broken parts from this one, took some extra pieces, and made a brand new robotic battery powered spider that walks on its own. But she, like, there's stuff like that she does. So I could easily throw her into a robotics class. But she's also my child that I feel like if I did that and then I started putting a grade on it and she knew that she was doing it for a grade, then she may be less interested in doing it. So one of the things that I do is I try to pull back on how much paperwork and like written work she has to do, because like, and also like, so she does robotics. In her free time, she is writing her own book. And that's for her to share. And she says she'll eventually do some YouTube videos talking about the book she's writing, but she's been writing a book for about a year now. She does cooking. And when I say cooking, she doesn't like my oldest one loves making pancakes, and she started with pancakes until she mastered it. This one, if she makes pancakes, she has a special syrup to go with it. Or if we make chicken broccoli and rice, she makes her own Asian sauce to go on top of it. Like, she does the intricate, detailed work. So that's why I try to make school, like, number one, really fun. Number two, hands-on and visual. So that when she finishes her actual, like, this is what you have to do schoolwork for the day, she has the time to experiment and create and do these things. So I love that how Biology 101 fits into all of that. And again, I'm super excited to share that book with you guys as soon as she gets it completely released. But in the book, she also credits us for the Chemistry 101 and Physics 101 review and overview of chemistry and the overview of Physics 101, because we haven't actually started Physics 101 yet. We'll start that this fall. Number 2 is English 10. So what I have found works for me, and I kind of loosely base this off of my own personal experience with public school, and I also based it off of where they are in history class. So in public school, normally your 10th grade year, you focus more on British literature. The other reason why I was looking at it and decided to do British literature for 10th grade. So 9th grade, we do just movies as literature, whatever it covers. And it covers a wide spectrum. There's sci-fi, there's westerns, there's Shakespeare, there's mystery, there's based on true stories. It covers the whole spectrum there because it also kind of like helps you figure out where your child's interest is. And honestly, like, if I had the time, I would totally not like write movies as literature, because like somebody's done that. Beautiful book. It's always in our description box below of where you can purchase that. I think it's always, and I try to always put it in at least the homeschool ones. But I would love to be able to like help people write out lesson plans for different movie themes, sci-fi, Star Wars. British movies as literature, honestly, a very, very large chunk of it is going to be based on their 2 favorite book series. So I'll get into that later because I'm going to do a different, I know I've already done British movies as literature overview video with my oldest 2, but my younger 2 have picked a different plan for theirs. They have a different course plan with theirs. My southern accent just came out really heavy there. But anyways, the reason why I decided to go with British, like I said, 9th grade, movies as literature, you're getting the introduction and you're getting a wide variety of topics to figure out where your kid wants to be. 10th grade, the purpose with 10th grade doing British literature also is usually 10th grade, and it is working out that both of my 10th graders are taking, and we'll get to this in a minute, world history. So for world history, I was like, well, I don't really want to do American literature, and I don't really want to do biographies, because even a lot of biographies are written like in America. So that's why we chose British literature, was because it was the closest to doing like world studies. And I know like I could have gone like Indian literature or Chinese literature. British literature just has more focus of some of their favorite books that they have. So that's why we chose British one. Like I said, we could make lists and plans for all of them. And then 11th grade, they do American. And then for 12th grade, they do biographies. But 11th grade, they also do U.S. history. And 12th grade biographies, like I said, most biographies are, not all, but most of the biographies are in America. And then for 12th grade, you do U.S. government as a required course. So that's kind of how we went with that thought process. And when I originally started planning for my oldest 2, when they first started high school, I did sit down with all of them and I was like, do you all want to do the same thing? And there was a time when I sat down with my just rising 10th grader and said, are there any movies on this British literature list that you don't like? And she was honest and was like, yes, I don't like this one and I don't like this one. Can we replace it with this one that I like instead? And I loved having that feedback with her. And after we get back from an amazing vacation that we're going on, I will be going through back to our normal video schedule. And that's why we're doing this like right now, because we're probably going to be, most of the August videos are going to be about vacation. But when we come back, I will talk about what she's doing for British literature. Any video that I've already filmed about like each course, like I've already filmed Biology 101, I will leave it in the description below, sometimes in the cards up here about them, so that you can have reference to like the overview of that curriculum. This video is more talking about how we're doing the lesson plan. So she's doing Biology 101. She is doing, and the list on here is like in alphabetical order, and it's all virtual through the umbrella school that we use in Tennessee to stay legal for homeschooling. We're doing British movies as literature. The next one on here is geometry. So somebody recently asked, like, how do you homeschool so many high school kids? I outsource math. Math is not my strong suit. If I sit down and have time to look at it with the videos and figure it out, I can help my kids with math. My husband can look at it and help the kids with math faster. I've always talked about how that's kind of a balance for us, is Nat is strong in math and science. My strong suits are literature and history. So we kind of balance each other out. And then also we balance each other out, like when we pick field trips, he will look at math and science and I will look at history and literature. And then there's some history stuff that we both have feedback on, of like places that we want to go. And then we also look at maturation level of our kids before we go to certain places. Like we waited until our kids were in middle and high school before we went to Oak Ridge, because some of that is kind of scary for some younger kids. So anyways, he's stronger with math. But when I'm here at home with the kids during the day, I prefer for them to have a visual with transcripts math. So that's why we use Khan Academy. It also helps that Khan Academy is free. And honestly, I looked at so many other math programs and they all kept sourcing back to Khan Academy for extra help. So I was like, why not just stick with Khan Academy's written program? Anyways, so that's why we do it. I will be doing a video later of reviewing Khan Academy and my full thoughts on that. The next one on here is Japanese 2. Yeah, Japanese 2. She did take Japanese last year. I don't push for my kids to do foreign language their 9th and 10th grade year. They ask to do foreign language for their 9th and 10th grade year because they want their 12th grade year to be a lot easier, because there's a chance that they're going to be taking on some odd jobs in the afternoons or evenings and babysitting and, you know, saving up for life after high school. So that's kind of their goal, is to try to make 12th grade a little bit easier so that they can work on those things and also work on, like, if they need ACT, SAT, CLT, things like that. So that's why in 10th grade, she's already taking Japanese 2. For that, we are using Duolingo. I haven't got that video out yet. I'm hoping to get it out before vacation, but we use Duolingo for foreign language. It was approved a couple of years ago to where Duolingo is now accepted as a foreign language course. And again, we'll talk about all that from full. But Japanese was one of the accepted languages for our umbrella school. And this is my child that has a dream of going and learning how to make food in Japan. So that's why she specifically chose that one. The next one on here is she's going to do a second year of guitar. She may do it all 4 years. We don't know. But she's very interested in learning how to play guitar. She's already taking it this summer for her first credit. And then she will go into taking it for her 10th grade year. The next class on here is personal finance. Personal finance is a required course in the United States. It is a 1 semester course, even in homeschool. So in public school, normally you would take like 1 semester of math and then 1 semester of literature. But in homeschool, it's a full year. It is a full year of math. It's a full year of literature, except there are some classes that are still only 1 semester. Personal finance, health, government, and economics are all 1 semester courses. So what we ended up doing was the program we're using is Beyond Personal Finance. I've done an overview video of it. And what you do is you pay for 1 full year for a teacher subscription. So to save money teaching for kids, what we did was we waited to do personal finance with my oldest 2, who just took it for 11th grade spring semester, so that whenever my youngest 2 started high school, we could take it in their fall semester, and that way we're only paying for a full year of personal finance teacher edition on the online resource. The only downside to personal finance so far, I'll go ahead and plug in, was the last day of school. We had a thunderstorm and our internet went out. So we actually had to pause taking it because it's mostly online virtual spreadsheets, but it's also a positive because it teaches kids how to put spreadsheets into a computer to keep up with a budget. So the next class on here is also another elective, which she didn't take that many electives her freshman year. So this year she's going to be taking, it looks like 3, because technically Japanese 2, even though it's required to take 2 years of foreign language for college bound, is also counted as an elective. So Yeah, she's taking Japanese too, music and guitar. And then the next one on here is photography. Now, her younger sister is also taking photography, which actually means that most of her classes she's going to be doing with her. But since the oldest two are both relatively the same age and in the same grade, it kind of works out to where they do work together, like two sets, but also they can do independent work if they want to. So again, this is my child who, when she finishes school, she goes off and does some things on her own. Photography is one of her interests. Now, for her, for my younger one, she's wanting to become a Nat Geo photographer. With my rising 10th grader, I'm not 100% sure where her path is going to be, but she is interested in learning more with the camera. Now with her though, I think she's leaning more towards, like, she does eventually want to do like her own YouTube channel, but do like cooking videos and tutorials and how-tos and things like that. And some of that does require some camera skills. So I don't know if it's like she's leaning more towards videography or photography. She does take some beautiful nature photos though. So I just kind of want to let her go and see where she goes with this. To stay legal with photography, I am using a free course on Teachers Pay Teachers that also help kids that don't know how to use cameras to learn. I'm not laughing at kids that don't know how to use cameras. It's just my kids have grown up with cameras. So like, we started a homeschool channel 9 years ago. So my kids have grown up with cameras, and if they don't want to be on camera, we don't do it. They've basically grown up with having cameras. So they all know how to use cameras. Two of them have the old vlog cameras that basically are just photo cameras now, because the lenses have dust in them and it's not great for video anymore, but they can still take like pictures with them. And that was the reason why we gifted them to them. So we're going to do photography. We have a free program for Teachers Pay Teachers. There's like 5 free ones right now on Teachers Pay Teachers, where you can download free photography class instructions. And there's also other people out there who make unit studies on photography for high school or homeschool students. And the last one on here actually is an honors class, and that is World History. The reason why World History is an honors class is because it is taught through Crash Course. Now, most of you know we're Christian homeschool parents. Crash Course World History is a secular program, but it is taught as a college course to college students. Therefore, it is listed on the Crash Course link, the playlist on YouTube, as an honors course. So most schools will automatically identify if you're using it as your background or your backbone for your world history course for high school, for homeschool high school. It's a honors course. So what we do is there are some videos that we pull out and we use Hillsdale College instead. And what we're going to be doing is I have sat down and made a PDF, and we'll talk about it later in another video how we did it, because the last time we did this, one of my students did it in a 45-day summer course, and it's a lot. Like, at one point most of the time she would pause and then write notes out from what was on the closed caption, because I'm hard of hearing, so we always have closed caption on. She would sit down and read it with closed caption. These are only like 15-20 minute videos. And it would take us 2 hours sometimes to get through it, because there's so much information. And like I said, I do have a plan written out, and I do sell PDFs of plans that we do. I'm not selling the curriculums itself. I'm selling the time that I put into making these PDFs on how to follow free programs and use them to plug in with your school, with other suggestions of things like writing prompts to go with these that we have found works and are trying out ourselves, and also some hands-on activities. Again, I'm not selling the courses. I'm selling my time that I put into taking these free videos, plus other information, gathering all together and putting it in one place to make it easy to follow for day 1, day 2, day 3. And we never do more than day 3 or 3 days worth of written work a day. Day 4 is hands-on, and day 5 is our shopping, community service, field trips, anything like that. But that is it for today's video. That is it for what my rising 10th grader is going to be doing. Like I had said in the last video, my 9th/10th grader, who's on paperwork going to just me in 10th grade is going to be repeating a lot of these subjects with her. Just she'll be doing AP. But again, this is my child who she does the work, does it quickly, does it well, and then she goes on and does things that she enjoys doing, like building spider robots. Or today we're going to be cleaning out our herb garden and trying to rearrange it a little bit. And we get to do stuff like that because the way that we do homeschool. That is it for today's video. Thank you to all of our members for supporting this content and allowing us to continue making videos. And thank you to every single one of you, because even liking, watching, positive comments, and subscribing helps so much to support our channel, to help us to be able to do what we do. And we will see you next time.